I'd like to introduce you to Dorine van der Wijk. I get my Dutch pronunciation correct. She's the founder of Swirls of Life. She's from the Netherlands. And her interesting topic will be shaping the definition of worldwide wealth. Intriguing. Please come to the stage, Dorine. Round of applause, please.
So, some real life action. I hope you're ready for it. I'm ready for it. First day of conference, people ask each other, what was your highlight of the day? And I want to show you my highlight of yesterday. Movenpick, if you can put me up. This was my highlight of the day. It was not here on stage, of course. I was really honored to be there. But this conversation in the hallway with the students was my highlight of the day. They asked me a question, they came up, and they said, "Ma'am," and I first thought they don't want to have a picture. "Can I ask you a question? Do you have some time for me?" I said, "Of course, what's your question?" And they asked me the question, "What do you think that we should do with digitalization?" And I was like, "Ooh, that's an interesting question." I said, "Do you have time?" "Yeah, do you have time, ma'am?" I said, "Of course I have time." And this was such a wonderful conversation for me. And I felt really rich after this conversation. And the interesting thing is I was sharing this story with my partner, and at that second I got this picture. I didn't know that it was taken. So I also have a memory now of this beautiful moment. So thank you, Mazar. I know that you sneak peeked it. So thank you for this beautiful gift. So thank you, Mozam. You can switch now. I have a gift for you. I have a chance. With this card, you will get all your needs. Your kids will go to education, you have health insurance, your parents are taken care of, and you don't have to work anymore. You can leave your job today, and all your needs are still taken care of. So who wants to have this chance? Who wants to have this card? Let me see who I'm gonna give it to. So, you are out of jail now. I will come back to that later, so keep it really good, close to you. Not so long ago, I would have raised my hand to get that card. I run a company, so from the external perspective, I had it all. I was a owner of a great company in the Netherlands. I had all the freedom I had. I was able to have beautiful conversations with entrepreneurs. I set up my team remotely. That was pre-COVID times, but I love to travel, so for me it was really important to do it remotely. I had all the conversations because in our program we connect entrepreneurs with speakers. So I had all the freedom, and still at the same time I didn't feel fulfilled. And that was not the first time. I already left another director's role 5 years before because I also didn't feel fulfilled. I also had another burnout. So at one day I made a really radical choice. I said, okay, I need to shape my own recovery and I need to take a break. So I give myself the permission. I'm gonna sell the company and I'm gonna leave States for at least 1 year. So I left States for at least 1 year and really give the time to shape my recovery and find what really was fulfilling for me, and that I didn't have to raise my hand anymore on that. You can leave your job now and all your needs are fulfilled. So I'm really grateful that today I can say on this stage that I don't need that card, and that my job as a people detective, where I can observe and challenge every day, is a gift for me. My role as the founder of the think tank Swirls of Life, where we, with an international team, are researching important questions, really give me the opportunity to connect all the things I did see in my previous lives and still see every day. And as a designer of the research, that I can express my creative side of life and design this research. So I'm really grateful that I can say that I found the job where I don't need a card anymore. So we have a mission, and I made one promise when I left. I want to come back to contribute to a world in harmony, because I didn't feel harmony in my life when I was having that success, what looked from the external side. And we have one mission: shape the world to a worldwide wealth. And that's not just a nice thing to say in a beauty context. It is something we really work every day to. And today, together, we're gonna reshape the definition of worldwide wealth. So today, what we're gonna do in the next 50 minutes are the following things. You're gonna find out more about our research. We together will define the definition of worldwide wealth. We're gonna have some fun experiments. And I will give you a tool on how to reshape the recovery, because that's the theme of today. So I want to tune in and give you a practical tool where you can walk out today how we reshape the recovery. So it's time for some action. And I have some friends here. I'm really privileged to call Pakistan also my second home. And they said, are you going to do something interactive in Pakistan? That's going to be an interesting thing. I take my chances. And I, of course, made it really easy. So you only have to do what you're already doing. Hold on to your mobile. And, where's my guide? Can I go to my next slide? Hold on to your mobile and go to this website. And the fun thing is, the people who are online watching, I don't know where the camera is, oh there, you can also join this, of course. So we're gonna bring the hybrid version in this room also. So go to this website, and I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. So I need your help for our research. And by answering this question, you already are a part now of the research. First, I'm gonna ask you some association questions. And remember, the topic is worldwide wealth, so they are related to that. And then, after my association questions, I am keen here to learn from your perspective. So I will guide you with some questions to your personal definition. So if you're ready, we are going to the first question. What is the first word what pops up when you hear the word money? And you can just enter it in your mobile. Can some... Okay.
Voting is closed.
Can you do it in the presentation, Nick? Can you help me? Thank you. Then we can actually see it. See, technology and me is not my best friend, so you always have to ask it for the best people. Up the top is the, if you didn't have the code, yeah.
I think we have to...
So, thank you for your answers also. With this first word, and you can, I will give you 1 second to keep it up, coming. What is the next question is, what emotion do you connect with this word, what you just typed on the previous question? And remember, every answer is good because it's your answer. Okay, thank you. Next association round, round 2. What is the first word, what comes to your mind when you hear the word wealth? Future, stability, struggle, family, just enough, nice. Okay, nice words coming up. This is all input for the research, thank you very much. So, same question, what emotion do you connect with this word? Love, that's my favorite word always. Love and freedom. Happiness, peace, relationships, fulfillment. Nice. Okay. So thank you for your input of your first association. I need to get back for 1 second to see what comes up with your... So this is what first comes up for you guys when you share your definition, not your definition, sorry, the association with wealth. And why are we asking this question? Before I jump into the next question, Mozam, you can switch me for 1 second, because otherwise it's popping up all the time, so annoying. Why do we ask this question? Oh, not this question, please. No. Can you just switch the screen? Yes, thank you. So why is this an important question? What we want to relate to is that people have a first association with the question, what is wealth? And what you just saw are some, what I always called pre-programmed answers, what we have learned on school or from our family. And with the next question, I want to tune into what your definition of wealth is. And I, of course, did this already, so I'm going to give a spoiler alert. It's not going to be 100% the same. So personal perspectives are going to be different. And one of our research questions is, what is wealth? But more important, how does it define society? Because we want to understand the importance of where is our society built on. If we want to reshape the future, we have to understand, and that's what I heard previous speakers also said, we have to understand what is the fundament of our society, where is it built on. And I always say that I think that if wealth is one of the important brickstones, it is made by just 1%. And I also always make this word joke, it's the worldwide wealth instead of the worldwide wealth. So to create worldwide wealth, we have to tune into the collective wisdom and collect your perspectives on wealth and then reshape it together in what we all want. And I know it's a hard question, so normally we do interviews are an hour, so I don't have an hour, so I give you a little bit of help to get to your definition of wealth. So I hope that, Mozam, can we switch to the next screen? Yes. Okay, you already did it, that's great. Put in the list the order of your priority. So if I ask you the question, what is your personal definition of wealth? You can help yourself with put a priority list. Family is the first one you came up with. Health, job, business. Fourth is wealth, friends, house, and at the last, the material matters. If you go to Wikipedia or the dictionary, you will see that what you guys now put on the last one, that is actually the definition on wealth. So here you already, this is a real life experiment, so I'm getting your input. It's the proof that it's based on not our personal perspective of today. I think the next question, I'm really curious if this list is going to change them. I'm going to challenge you a little bit more to think about. Yes, you already were there. It's interesting how I thought that, oh, what? Who is doing this? I'm not doing anything. Sorry, thank you for this. How it changed, put the list and then this one. Yeah, thank you. So what I wanted to ask here, so maybe you can go back to this question because I didn't ask the question. What if today is your last, you are hearing that you only have 6 months to live and now you have to let go of this list of wealth? In which order will you let go of? So what is the first thing you will let go of and what is the last thing you will let go of? So I want that you one more time go to your mobile and fill in this last ranking with this question. What is what you first let go of and what is the last one you let go of? And let's then compare it to your first priority list. Okay. Thank you for your voting. I see that it's still voting. I can, of course, not see what's going on online. So, if you see this list, so I'm curious what is changing. So the first thing, the last thing we want to let go of, if we put it in order of priority, is the wealth. So, Mozam, can you switch the screen? Thank you. Because this will keep running and then I can just, no, not just put me off. Thank you. So, you see, the real life experiments, always tricky with tech, but thank you for your patience to fill it in and provide us from some input. What you just experienced is one part of our research. We are collecting in interviews people's perspectives. So that is what you just did. And of course, it's in a really quick form, but then you have a sense of the type of questions what we are asking. The second thing we are doing in our research, and I always think that this is the most exciting part, is we create real-life experiments. And we create real-life experiments, what we call new realities. And in these playgrounds, we change rules. Our current rules, we change them. Why? Because we are curious how would society look like if we change rules. And I can do it on paper and do scenario thinking and boardroom brainstorming, and that's really fun also. But I want to see and learn how does it look like in real life. So we invite participants to live the reality we want to see. And that includes also all the researchers in this experiment, so we are also our own data point. And we invite them to live these new realities. And the current playground we have set up, we changed 2 rules. The one rule around money, and the second rule is around synchronous transactions. Because if you go to the dictionary of what is wealth, you will find it's an abundance of money, the monetary wealth. And the second thing what is provided there, what it shows is that having money and to be able to have a transaction. So what we want to challenge is that really true? So that's why we change in this playground that you get the things without money and it's not transactional. So we are living this experiment and we are observing our participants who are living this reality, and we learn from their experience, we learn from their behavior to shape our next playground. And for us, it's really important to tune in to what nature principles are. Julia was yesterday talking about the connection with nature and the bio-nature, and we want to include that also in the realities we create. I hope that Asfar will invite me in a couple of years again, and that then on this stage we have achieved the following two things. That in the dictionary of Oxford, we changed the definition of wealth. And we changed it in a version more aligned what you guys just briefly did. And the second thing is that I can give you the answer, but also that you can give the answer on how do we achieve a worldwide wealth. So that is what I hope to tell you in a couple of, hopefully soon, but let's say a couple of years, because it's behavior change and that will take a while. So I promised you a practical tool. So my last gift for you today is that practical tool. And let me share what I observed being here for, is it 24 hours? Yes, it is 24 hours, for the last 24 hours. And it's similar what I have experienced in all the boardroom meetings I did in my past life. When you ask the question, how do you shape recovery, or what do you want to achieve, the most common answer is growth. And most of the time it's economic growth. So we think that the solution for our recovery is growth and is economic growth. So I always challenged the boardroom, and I'm going to challenge you now also, why do you want to grow and what does it represent? And I will not do another tech round, so I will just give you the most common answer which is given. I want to have a better life. And back in my world, that means most of the time freedom. I cannot fill it in for your answer. But that is the most common theme, is I want to have a better life. If I have that growth of economic growth, what is giving me is going to be giving me a better life. So when we want to reshape the future, if we want to reshape the recovery, my gift for you is start with the end. What is that better life, what we want to create? Dream it. Imagine it, feel it, understand that we don't know it exactly. Understand that what is true for today is maybe not true for tomorrow. And then bring it back to what we want to live today. So start with the end in mind. That's what I always challenge the entrepreneurs in the boardroom. And I think also if we want to reshape the recovery, we will have to start with the end in mind. What is that better life looking like? And what is that for me, practical? So coming back to the first photo I shared, if I want to contribute to a worldwide wealth, for me that means more harmony, that means more inclusion. How can it be that we have in this room the luxury of being here and outside that people are fighting for their food? That's for me always heartbreaking. So what does worldwide wealth for me mean? Practical. It's nice to have this conversation with you, but having that conversation in the hallway with those children who are clearly not privileged enough to do the Oxford education, but they are really eager to learn, and to learn from their perspective, because I asked them, of course, also the questions. That is for me worldwide wealth, because we have to reshape it together, and not only with a privileged amount of the privileged part of the people. So that's my gift for you today. And yeah, you can now ask me anything, if you want to ask me anything. That's a good question. I think then I have to ask you the question, what is the better life you want to create? Thank you. And how would it look like if you bring that to society? So this is your truth, and how would you shape then the society around you? How?
One of the things you alluded to, thank you, is hello.
It's on, yeah.
Is in terms of having the harmony.
Can you just repeat? Sorry, because there they didn't catch what you were saying. So can you repeat what your first?
I think what I mentioned was that in terms of creating a sustainable environment, creating an environment where one is able to do things without hindrances, ability to do things in a way that is achieving things and doing things without too many hindrances and achieving those. And the second question you asked is, how will I shape the society or able to do that? I think in terms of for me to be able to do things without many hindrances, I have to have the people around me at the same pace or same level, or at least understand me to be able to let me achieve what I want to achieve. So creating that environment either through education, or education may not be the only thing, awareness is important around having or helping people change their mindsets, or changing their way of doing and thinking. Not necessarily convert them all towards what I want to think, but at least have a patience or ability to understand and accept the others as they are, is something that I strive towards doing in our profession as well, and in the way we work. So I think that's what I'll try and work with, basically.
So what is one action you can take today already? Because if we are talking about redefining and reshaping the future, what can you do to have it already today?
Okay. In terms of, see, the roots are there. I think I do some trainings. I'm an accountant by profession, so I'm running a consulting firm as well. So the roots which I'm trying to do already as part of my training organization and all that stuff is set that mindset people as creating harmony around. So the few things I'll probably take from your speech today is having harmony around the people, or having the harmony in the community, or having the ability to be able to work with people and in a way in a freedom environment, basically. So I think that's my takeaway from this today.
Thank you.
Hi. Just a question. We all look for freedom. That's what we are talking about. Completely, I mean, devil's advocate. Does freedom, when you have freedom, do you lose the purpose? Because I've seen people who have complete financial freedom, nothing tied up, but then I don't see any purpose of life. Your thoughts?
I'm going to quote a dear friend of mine who gave the answer on that question. She said, freedom is in your mind and in your heart. So you can take yourself anywhere, but if you're not free in yourself, you will never be free. So on your point of we can have all the monetary wealth and people don't feel free, of course, that's why I was challenging all those entrepreneurs, because I saw them, they were not free. They thought that they were free, but they were not free. And I think that real freedom comes in knowing what your truth is. instead of what is the external truth, what are people expecting from you. Like I did the same. I was running that programmed ladder, having that career, having that entrepreneurship, having all that I looked nice from the outside, but I didn't know what was nice on the inside. So for me, freedom is knowing what is really fueling me from inside, having that conversation with that kid in the hallway, and then I felt free in that moment. No, afraid. Nick is great, so you should pass Nick on.
A round of applause for Dorine, please. Amazing.
Thank you.
Sorry.